Yeah, watch, I'll be certainly. Okay, proceed, Lasuda. If you take minimal time, then everybody will have a chance.
Thank you, Speaker. I will do my best to take the shortest time possible and not repeat what my colleagues have said. Thank you for this opportunity. And first and foremost, I would like to congratulate, because I sit in the Budget and Appropriations Committee, Chairman Honorable Ndindi, who was the chair during this session, and also to congratulate the former chairperson of Budget and Appropriation Committee, Honorable Ndindi. He also chaired during a very difficult time when we had that, as a country, we inherited empty coffers, and also we had the issue of the collapsed finance bill. We had him as the chair, and I want to congratulate him and to thank him for the time that he was chairman, and Honorable Ndindi for his good stewardship during this budget process. Mr. Speaker, I want to speak on a number of issues, and one of them is that in this budget, there are a number of fears that Kenyans had. And one of them was the issue of examinations. Actually, in one of the places that we were at, when I was walking out, I had one Kenyan asking me, are you going to support examination to be supported during this budget, or do I move my child? But Mr. Speaker, we assured that Kenyan that there will be money to support examinations during this year, Mr. Speaker. And this I would like to speak to the policy makers, that when you change policies, you have to do it thoughtfully, and it doesn't have to take this house to come and reinstate. It can't be when Kenyans are making noise about the examination money is when you're saying, oh, the private schools, oh, I don't know what. Just do the policy, do the public participation way ahead of the budget, or by the time we're moving the budget, Mr. Speaker. So it is very important that, because those are the things that cause anxiety, those are the things that are causing anxiety even for the current government, because of the policy change. Policies also follow resources. And so it can't be that one person wakes up this morning and says, remove examination fee, and then Kenyans make noise, return examination fee, and then some of it, private schools, some people can afford it. It is important that we look at the policies that we make, and so that they do not bring anxiety amongst Kenyans. I would also want to say this, Mr. Speaker, that it is important for Kenyans to note that we have moved to 4.2 trillion this budget, and it is important also to note that there are key sectors that have been factored. And one of the factors, and even as members of parliament, we always get a message when the money for older persons, 25.7 billion has been factored this financial year, and we always get a message when that money has been released. There's also money for persons living with disability, 1.5 billion, and overseas, 9.1 billion. And so it is important to note that we are taking care of the most vulnerable in our society and in our communities. We have been seeing also the UHC workers, and especially those who worked very hard, especially when we had COVID in our country. The 6.1 billion towards making permanent and pensionable has been factored, and I do hope that by the end of this year, they will all be onboarded. Mr. Speaker, also we have money for livestock insurance, 2.3 billion. And we also have Kenya Livestock Commercialization Program, 1.57 billion. Mr. Speaker, there is an issue of equalization fund, which has been spoken to by my colleague, Honorable Makali. We have to have an honest conversation, and even as this house, which passes the same policies, and I know that the third policy is coming up, Mr. Speaker, we have to agree that this issue of delocalizing more equalization fund to ward level is not working. There was a reason why in the Constitution we had the counties that were listed in the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. And I know that in a few years, many of us will be asking why equalization fund is not working. It is not working because we moved from I think it's 13 counties, and we went further towards, Mr. Speaker, and so a ward gets about 7 million. Equalization fund was to move us from where we were to where the rest of the country was. So now if we continue with the policy that we have, and I know that there's another policy coming up, we have to give the money to the counties where the Constitution spoke about, so that equalization fund can actually make sense, Mr. Speaker, so that those counties can also move from where we are to where we are. Because equalization fund, every time we ask for any additional funds in the budget, as counties who are beneficiaries of the equalization fund, we are told, but you have equalization fund. But it is this same house who raided the counties who are to be beneficiaries of equalization fund, Mr. Speaker. And so it is important that we discuss and that. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, I'm happy that in this budget we have issue of last mile. Some of our counties, where I come from, we are very, some money will be taken in and it will cater for long lines of electricity, Mr. Speaker. We all know and understand that electricity is a game changer, just as water. Mr. Speaker, a budget in some counties, there are counties in this house, Mr. Speaker, or constituencies, who actually don't need any transformers anymore. They have electricity up to nowhere. But there are counties, Mr. Speaker, in this house or constituencies who actually need electricity. Actually, there are counties like my county, we are less than 20%, Mr. Speaker. I'm sure Marakwet is the same. I'm sure Marsabit is the same. And so the money being given to REREC, they should look at the counties and the constituencies where they have the minimal allocation or the coverage of electricity, Mr. Speaker. As I get to the end, there is also the issue of water, which is a key issue, and it's important that we ensure that also those areas where we have issues of water are taken care of. And in this budget, Mr. Speaker, we actually looked at it, and I want to also thank the departmental committees for the work that they actually did. There's also the issue of community health promoters. There's 3.2 billion. Mr. Speaker, the issue of pending bill and corruption. We cannot continue to politicize those two issues. We either have to do it or not do it as a country. Pending bill, we also have to think why we commit what we don't have as a country, because that's why it becomes a pending bill. If a ministry or a department does not have the money, why are you engaging a contractor without the money, without the exchequer? So, we can romanticize and make it look good because we are defending contractors whose pending bill has not been paid. And they should learn from NGCDF, because NGCDF is what has received the highest bashing. But I want to say NGCDF is one of the best examples that people have to look at. You can never commit what you don't have. If it is not in your code list, if it is not in your AIE, if you pay before, it will not be paid, Mr. Speaker. And so we have to rethink as a country that it cannot just be until you have the money, you cannot engage. But also the issue of exchequer, it cannot also be left to Treasury to decide who gets the money and not. Finally, because I've seen the light on issue of corruption. The day we stop politicizing corruption as a country is when it will work. So that it doesn't matter that today you've shifted camps in government. You know, it is almost becoming ridiculous because Kenyans can read through the politics of corruption. If we are going for any member who is engaged in corruption, Mr. Speaker, as a nation, Mr. Speaker, just give me 1 minute to conclude this issue of corruption and then just 1 minute. You know, we have to be serious, also even as a country and this house. We cannot continue to talk about corruption, but it is very, very obvious that the last time you are in UDA, you are being arrested. Now you're not being arrested because as a governor or as an MP. Now you've gone to Nyoro, you're being arrested. If you're engaged in corruption, you are engaged in corruption. It doesn't matter which side you are on. So we either become serious as a nation and as a country, or we stop talking about the issue of corruption. Or you just have to be on the right side of government. I was with one governor who told me, I am on a certain side, but I have to be good so that I am not gone for, you know, we have to be real as a country. Otherwise, we stop discussing these issues of corruption every time, corruption. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Moshira. Yes.
The MP for Nyoro to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And I start to support the motion as it was moved by the chairman for Budget and Appropriation Committee. And Mr. Speaker, I want to really thank the chairman and the members of the Budget Committee where I serve, because through constant engagement with the Treasury, this budget, in these estimates, we have reduced the fiscal deficit from 5.1 in the last financial year to 4.5